Good morning, traders. I'm Dennis Dick.
And I'm Joel L. Connon. Welcome to Monday's edition, Premarket Info.
Joel, these levels, I'm telling you, they work, man. It seems like we just keep going up into the high 1680s and then straight down. And where do we get overnight? That whole 1666 area where we bounced off of last week.
Right, I woke up this morning, didn't get myself a glass of beer though, and took a look at the market, and I'm like, right at the 1666 level. I was looking at the low from last week, Dennis, that we had at 1663 and a quarter, and I'm like, this thing's just gonna open up lower and just churn higher all day, and couldn't get executed at that level. We have gotten a bounce. We're off the low. We're 5 points off the low. I think everything's okay in bullland as long as we hold that 1663 and a quarter. Now coming back on the upside, we've had a 12-point range so far, so 1672 mid-range. That's what I'm looking at here as our first minor resistance point.
Before we go into gold and crude, I just want to say happy birthday there, buddy. You had a big one this weekend. 51 calls. I'm going to get long those things.
Yeah, I'm sure our listeners don't think I'm nearly that old, but yeah, the for the owners of the 50 puts, they do go off the board worthless.
Happy
Okay,
birthday, buddy.
yeah. If you want
Wow.
to be more conservative, maybe you should buy the 50 calls and sell the 60s. Lock
Play
in the
that
spread
spread,
there.
yeah.
But
We could
yeah,
play it
yeah,
that way.
yeah. And the celebration continues at the Tiger game this afternoon.
Yeah, it's going
So
to be a
it
big
that's
one. It's going to be a big
yep.
one there. 1-1 the series there. Let's get back to this market here. Gold trading up, obviously, working like it should. It's trading defensively now. We are up pretty substantially here this morning with gold, considering the broad market sell off. 1300, we continue to bounce off that area. Obviously, we have again, we're up at 1319 right now. I think there's a little cup and handle form in the last 5 days there. You got the little bottom there when we got under 1300. Then the last 3 days of consolidation here. Can we break out? Can we get going here on gold? Is this going to be the catalyst here, or are we just going to drift right back down to 1300?
It is this support point, the 1320 area, has been
Mm.
acting as resistance. We have snuck above it in really the last 3-4 trading sessions, but have not closed above it. We've hit that area again here. A little bit of a negative market, obviously, puts a little bit of a bid behind the gold here. I'd be playing it. I'd be playing it to the long side here, but I don't think I'd be giving it a lot of real estate on the downside here. If it goes in reverse mode, you're going to get back down to that $1,300 level. But boy, the market, the gold is holding up here. It looks like it wants to get back up and maybe get into that 1337.80, which was the high on October 1st.
Just want to highlight one stock, one miner there, Newmont, NEM, because we are coming into a key support area here on Newmont. This morning we are rallying, obviously, off of that support area, but last Friday we got down to 26.57. And if you go back to August, we made a low at 26.43. If you go back to July, we made a low at 26.47. So you kind of almost just put in a triple bottom there if you go out to the monthlies, just looking at July, August, and September. Key support area there for Newmont. It's trying, obviously, to bounce here this morning.
Right, and these are the kind of trades and kind of formations that we like to talk about on the show, because here you are, you're going into the trade, into the situation, and you know your risk. If you're even if buying it here off the hop at $27, you have a reference point, an excellent reference point here at the 26.50 level. And also, looking on the upside here, we're looking at Friday's high 27.07. So we are opening up into a little bit of resistance, but I think if we can get there, get above that level, could be trading up to 26.78, 26.79, the highest from the last 2 days.
Let's take a quick look at crude here, because crude is trading down just slightly here. Overall market down, obviously, to 102.87. We kind of got down there under that 102, and we've been hanging out here for 3 or 4 days here. We got some banging around going on. Somebody's got their
Yeah, I'm not sure. I might have to hit somebody outside the head here. Uh,
They're getting rowdy there over at Benzinga. Anyways, 102.86 is where we're trading at right now.
Okay, I was looking at this over the weekend here, and boy, you got up to that 104 level, and they gave you 3 shots to sell it above 104. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 104.19, 38, and 23. did not close on the, above that level, and we opened up a little bit weaker and just kind of went south here. We did take out the double bottom that we had at the 102.90 level. We're back up trading that level, so keep an eye on that. If we get back above 103, we might get a rally. Coming back on the downside, no other major support points. 101.43, that was the low on Wednesday last week, and then the super major support, 105, 101.05, and 101.06.
Let's move on to some of the individual stocks that are moving here this morning, and one that is popping here despite the market being down is Blackberry. BBRY, Reuters reporting that they are interested in selling parts of the company now. So I guess they're getting desperate over there at BlackBerry, trying to find whatever money they can. They said Cisco, Google, SAP all might be interested in buying specific parts of BlackBerry. That has got the shares trading up here 30 cents. Macquarie also upgrading the stock here today. So a couple positive things here happening, but look where it's trading to, right to that critical $8 resistance level where we've topped out just the last on Friday we got up to or Thursday we got up to $7.99. Yep. So this $8 area is pretty key.
Yeah, I know you got a little giddy on the 750 puts on Friday.
Yeah, I did.
You were looking for that what happened last
washout.
Friday. Yeah. I just was looking at that 750 level. We did get a spike down to 751, and then the last 2 days of last week, Thursday and Friday, couldn't quite get there. So someone was playing ahead of the news here, buying above that support level. Now you're back up at $8 here. Let's see how high this has gotten into pre-market and use that as an indicator. The initial spike took this thing.
You got the pre-market chart there, Joel?
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm kind of talking out loud here. We did get up to 820, so getting a nice pop here. Also that $9 level, it was supposedly where this thing's supposed to be taken out here. So, but if you're playing this off the opening print, trying to get long the BlackBerry, just remember you do have that major support level, 750, 760.
Let's look here at a couple of the top components. We've got Apple getting an upgrade at Jefferies today, and it is trading green too. So it's not all bad news here this morning for the bulls, with Apple trading up here at 486.78, went out at 483.03, so it's up $3.75 right now on this upgrade at Jefferies.
We did get a pop up here. Someone definitely has an opinion here at 487. We bounced up at that level 3 times during the pre-market. When I was looking at the dailies here, it's not perfect, but getting a lot of consolidation here. The 480, 490 level had a couple lows below 480, and you had a couple highs above 490. But this here looks like you're building up a lot of consolidation here. So I'd be tempted, above the 490, perhaps take a look at some cheap calls, 500 calls or whatever. If you break down at this 480 level, then we could easily fill some of these gaps. But if you listen to Carl Icahn and Bill Miller, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, well, you just wait. Every time Apple goes down, Carl Icahn will come out with a tweet, I met with Tim Cook and we had dinner. Stock will pop $5 off that. Really ridiculous, actually. Facebook. Downgraded here again. Raymond James, couple analysts obviously giving a little bit of pressure to Facebook here. We've had a couple downgrades now. Interesting though, they downgrade the stock, but they're raising their price target because their price target was way down at 38. They're raising it up to 56, their price target. So you take a look, they're up raising, but they're downgrading the stock. So they had it at a strong buy, and they're lowering that now. So trading 50.65 here this morning. It is down 39 cents. It has struggled here above. Whenever it seems to get into the 51s, it seems to sell back off. So there's definitely some people that are nervous here and taking some stock off here in the 51s.
Let's take a look here in the pre-market, finding a lot of support here at the 50, like the 50.45 level. So someone's using this opportunity here. Actually got a couple lows right here, 50.30, 50.32. So I wouldn't get too excited there. That was also the area of multiple closes in the issue, going back to last week. What you pointed out in the daily was correct here. Got over 51, and it has snuck over 51 on a couple occasions and closed twice at that level. 51.24, the all-time high. We missed it on Friday, closing at 51.04. But Facebook has made 5, 6 highs above 51, and then has pulled back. So I think the numbers, the offers may be just ganging up at that whole number now, and coming back on the downside. Like I said, we won't get too excited about a lot of downside action until we take out this 50-30.
Big Blue getting a downgrade at Barclays
Oh,
today. IBM, man, this is just quietly here trading near the lows of the year now. 181.90 is where it's at right now. If we go back in late August, we got down to 181.10. This is a stock that just cannot get it going. It is not participating in the rallies, obviously, since it's trading down here near the lows, and it looks like it could potentially put in a new low here today if it takes out that 181.10.
right. We had a low last week that we took out at 183. So if any time you get a bounce today or in over the next couple days, that will be your good resistance point. The lows of the move here, 181.10. We hit 181.35 in the pre-market. 181.10 is a number. At least you have to look at the first time here
Yeah,
for a bounce.
yeah.
The second time, I don't know if I'd be too anxious to buy there. It's one of those support levels. It's a good place to cover a short, not necessarily a great place to try long. Trading below the lows for the year. I mean, if you take a look at a chart like ExxonMobil as well, I mean, here are some stocks that
Yeah,
are trading perilously close to the yearly lows.
yeah.
And if you take the SPOOs down to the yearly lows, okay, you're looking at 1,400 in the S&P.
Yeah,
So,
so some stocks just haven't participated. It's been the year of stock pickers. If you're picking stocks, the strong got stronger, the weak got weaker, and if the stocks were out of favor, if your stock was out of favor, really didn't participate. And some of the big guns here, your top, I mean, ExxonMobil, how do you get a bigger component than ExxonMobil, and it's sitting down here near the lows. So obviously not all stocks were participating this year in this rally, and it just shows you some of these stocks that are weak continue to get weaker. Let's talk about your favorite stock in the whole world. You know what I'm going to. Alcoa getting a downgrade at Morgan Stanley here today. There's a stock that seems to never participate in the rally for the last however many years. Trading down here only 8 cents. I mean, I don't know if upgrades and downgrades even affect this thing anymore. But it does have good support down here below this 775 area, around 770, where we've been down multiple times this year, and we have bounced out of there. So if you like trading those cheap stocks, it gets cheaper here down and looks not bad down at 770.
yeah, we had, I don't know if I'm trying to look at the day, but I know there was a downgrade last week, and they took under $8 to this 780 level, and then, it just kind of meandered and got back above 8. Now you're getting another downgrade here. You only had a 796 close, trading down right on Friday's low. Keeping an eye on 782. That's the low from Thursday. Another low at 781 on September 5th. So looking at that whole 981, 982 level, that needs to hold here for Alcoa. If not, you could get all the way down to 773. But it's a lot of starting to lean it on here, and it's also kind of getting a running start, only closing at 796. So leaning heavy on the downside. I'm sure the offers are getting huge at 8 again.
Here's another stock coming into key support and also approaching its lows of the years as well. It's Toll Brothers, TOL. They are getting downgraded at Goldman Sachs here today. Broke down on Friday through the key 32 support area, and we are heading right for that $30 level, where we have found support multiple times, basically for the last over the last year. This 30 has been absolutely enormous. We bottomed out there, even going back into 2012. We bottomed out there multiple times in October. We bottomed out there in April. We bottomed out there in June. We bottomed out there in July. We bottomed out there in September. We bottomed out there in August. I'm telling you, this 30, so that's just the level for Toll, and that's where it continues to get down to, and we're getting close to it.
Right, not a lot trading here to knock it down 69 cents. I got 100 shares trading. What you got a current bid offer in that? I mean, if
It's
someone's
down
stepping,
actually. We got 3,900 shares have actually traded. It's offered
okay.
at 30.35 right now, bid at 30.33. So very tight spread here right now on Toll Brothers. I mean, you come within 30 cents of this thing, you almost feel like it's probably going to test it. And often what you see is what we saw in September. You go through it by a few cents. It got down through it at 29.85. Maybe shake some people out that think it's actually going through 30, and then it turns around and rallies. So I mean, you got to give it in this decimal laden world. You can't say, oh, I buy at 30.01. If it goes to 29.99, I'm going to sell. It just doesn't work that way in a high frequency decimal laden world. You got to give it a little bit of room. But call the whole 30 area definitely is coming to support.
Yeah, I mean, also I look at the stock trading, above 35 on September 19th, and now you're getting, as of Friday on your week close, you got $4 back here. Now you're getting almost another stick here in the
There'll be
pre-market.
some shorts
5 points in a couple of weeks. To me,
Mm-hmm.
I think that some smart shorts here might be using this Goldman Sachs downgrade to lighten up here in the low 30s, if not the 30 number itself.
One more, just Qualcomm getting downgraded at BAC today, and it is actually trading down $1.12 right now. The stock was actually rounding and starting to look pretty good here before this downgrade today. It kind of broke out on Friday, closed strong above 68, but getting knocked right back down to the lows, trading at 66.90. We made a low down at 66.55 on the 30th, but we've kind of bottomed down here a couple of times before, so it'll be interesting to see if we can bottom out down here again.
Guess what the low in the pre-market is? 66.50.
They work,
so,
man. These levels, sometimes these things work.
sometimes it's scary.
Sometimes it's scary how simple it can be.
66.50, getting a little bounce up here to 66.90. You correctly identified that 66.50 level. We traded back down there a couple times. Once we got to 66.70, and that was on Thursday here. 66.55 was your low last Monday. So opening up into some major support here. Below that, you could see some trades under 66. You had a low at 65.74. Coming back on the upside here. You only need to go, 20, 30 cents to, not have to short into a gap situation. 67.13 was Friday's low.
A couple of your major dividend plays are going to go ex-dividend tomorrow. Let's start with AT&T. It will be ex-dividend tomorrow at 45 cents. I know we often say that these things show relative strength going into the ex-dividend day. It hasn't really been the case with AT&T. It's kind of still just been drifting down the last few days. And we'll have to see if it can show a little bit of relative strength here today ahead of the ex-dividend date. But give us a quick technical here, Joel, for those ex-dividend traders.
Yeah, I was looking at this thing, and it usually kind of has that creeper kind of rally
It's
here.
not, yeah.
Not going into. I would say this one you might get some nibblers here. Got a major lows here at 33.60. It bounces at 63, bounced at 60 on Friday.
Yeah.
We're trading right there. I think below 33.60 here. I don't think I'd be wanting to nibble on this for dividend. Now, on the other hand, if you got down to the lower 33s,
33 and a quarter is huge.
Yep. I think that you're right there. I might take a shot, but
I'd take a shot. Like if it gets down there, just for my own personal trading at 33 and a quarter, and I don't think it's going to see that today. But if for whatever reason the sell-off really got ugly and they decide to bash a stock like this ahead of the ex-dividend date, I probably might try to take a shot down there at 33 and a quarter. I don't know if I'm going to take a shot at 33.60 though. I'm kind of nervous there.
No, for a trade or take it home.
Yeah, a little bit of both. Sometimes I will take these things home overnight, but sometimes you can just obviously try to. That's what a lot of these ex-dividend guys, traders, try to do. They take the stock home overnight, get the dividend, and then try to obviously get out of it, above, where the price would be, which would be 45-cent adjustment, because sometimes it doesn't open that low the next day on these things. Sometimes you can get some, GTC orders, and some of them don't adjust. A lot of them do if they're on the books of the exchange itself. It'll adjust, but sometimes people use an algorithm, they just throw back in, and sometimes the next morning you can sneak out of them at a little bit higher price, but that works. That doesn't always work.
Well, higher price than minus.
Than minus 45 cents. So if you were to get this thing at 33.30 and you can sneak out tomorrow at 33, well, then you're still making 15 cents because the adjusted close would be 32.85. So that's the way you
and you're
look at
getting
these
the
things.
dividend.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole thing. Again, that 45-cent dividend. It's dividend capture strategy is what it's called. Verizon's going to be the same thing tomorrow. They always go ex-dividend the same day. Verizon's going to go ex-dividend for 53 cents here tomorrow. It did kind of close a little bit stronger there on Friday, up at 47.10. Again, there's probably support down here in the mid 46s. We're trading 46.90 right now, so we're about 40 cents above where I would say, you've got some decent support.
Yeah, just I mean, for the people that don't want to take it home with taking that dividend and want to re-enter, boy, targeting the $47 level, 47.12, 47.18, your highs on Thursday and Friday, and then right around 47 earlier in the week. So now we're opening lower. I would look at 47 as major resistance. Couple back on the downside here. Real good support in the 46.33, 46.32 level. You had a double bottom, so pretty defined ranges here. Verizon and AT&T.
One of your big losers on the day is CTB, which is Cooper Tire. After the close on Friday, there's some issues with they had a court ruling, and Apollo, this India tire maker, who actually has a bid on the table for them at $35, is trying to get the stock at a cheaper price. So they're not really interested in paying $35 anymore. So here's a stock that obviously gapped up when we go back to June, up to almost $35, got up to 34.5, and it's risk involved with these things. Like, it's kind of crazy when you think about it. Merger gets announced at 35 and people are willing to pay up to 34.50 or 34.80 that day it traded up to. That's only 20 cents of potential gain there at the end of the thing if the merger does go through. And if it doesn't go through, this is what happens to you. Basically, this is now giving back the entire gap from when obviously the merger was announced. And I guess they're kind of looking here that this deal, it might go through at a lower price or it might not go through at all.
Yeah, it's interesting though how the $35, it was announced, never even got to that price here. So obviously there was some skepticism here before this announcement here, and someone was playing it real close to the belt here, was just shorting this thing on any kind of pop. You did get down to 25.05 in the pre-market. That is really the lowest this thing is traded at since it was announced when it had to pop up. It was kind of found major support at the $24 level, 24.12, and yeah, but I don't know. I mean, it's once again, you have the situation where people have anticipated this merger not going through. Here's the news: it comes out, it's not going through. If you've been holding a stock that's getting taken out at 35 short for this period of time, once again, here's an opportunity to pick up a couple 3 points on the downside.
We're running short on time here. I know you want to talk about a couple of the top components in the S&P. One I just quickly want to highlight is Johnson & Johnson, because we're pulling back in today. We've talked about this 86 level. I feel like, for the last month, we are 50 or 60, 59 cents away from it. Just ticked 86.59 the pre-market. If for whatever reason this gets down to the low 86s, we know we've found a lot of buyers here before.
Right. Last found it at the end of August and early September. A couple higher lows last week here, so that's stock's coming in at real good support. Pre-market, they got a spike down to 86.56, but should be real stubborn between 86.50 and 86, and then also you kind of got your creeper rally and the SPOOs going on as well. So that's an excellent level to keep an eye on.
Let's look at that creeper rally in the SPOOs just from the pre-market trade, because obviously we did get down there to the 1666 level, and we have slowly trying to creep up here in the pre-market. We are now 5 points off that low that we made overnight at 1671 here. Obviously, if we get down into that area in the or in the regular session, I think that area still has some relevance.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be, they knocked it down overnight. Probably a lot of the market makers and, people that faded the the market on close buy orders here, getting a little bit of a free gift here, opening down. So I think that 1666.50 low is going to be protected here. Coming on the upside, kind of stalling out at mid-range on the day at 1672. So get some follow through that 1672 level. I think we can rally back, maybe sneak back into the 1680 handle.
That's our show for today, guys. Have a great day, and back at you tomorrow morning.